Welcome to Curio Pages. Conflict has always been part of the human journey. From the earliest hunter-gatherers clashing over territory to sprawling empires rising and falling through bloodshed, war has shaped our civilizations. Sometimes these confrontations involved only a few people, other times entire continents were pulled into chaos. Whether for survival, power, or belief, humans have found reasons to fight, and through every era, war has left a lasting mark on culture, memory, and history. But what do we mean when we say war? It's more than fighting. War is an organized, often prolonged conflict between political or national groups. According to classic definitions, war is declared sustained hostility between states or nations. It's this scale and structure that distinguishes war from personal violence or civil disputes. Understanding what war truly is helps us understand why and how it starts. The roots of war lie in the moment we stopped roaming and began to settle. With the rise of agriculture, humans began forming villages, then towns, and eventually states. With permanent settlements came ownership, and with ownership came the need to protect what was ours. These growing communities now had surplus food, tools, and livestock, resources others might covet. The ability to defend and to raid marked the first seeds of what we now recognize as organized warfare. Our first written records of war date back to around 2700 BC in the lands of ancient Mesopotamia. The Sumerians, one of the earliest civilizations, clashed with the neighboring Elamites in what is now southern Iran. Led by King Enmebaragesi, the Sumerians launched a successful attack, defeating their rivals and seizing valuable resources. This was not a spontaneous battle. It was strategic, political, and calculated. Though there may have been earlier conflicts, this war marks the first known chapter in the long history of recorded warfare. War begins not just with weapons, but with identity. For conflict to reach the level of war, communities must see themselves as distinct, separate, even opposed to others. It's the us versus them mindset that fuels hostility. Nations perceive threats, real or imagined, from other states and act preemptively or defensively. War becomes a tool to assert dominance, secure resources, or simply protect a way of life from perceived encroachment. What truly causes war? Some believe it's deep within us, part of our psychology, driven by fear, aggression, or the need to dominate. Others say it's not the person, but the system, the social structures and institutions that make war possible. From ancient philosophies to modern psychology, thinkers have debated whether war is inevitable or preventable. But one thing is clear: our decisions are shaped by how we see others and how we see ourselves in relation to them. In today's world, where no global authority exists to keep every nation in check, states often act in their own interests. The absence of a true international enforcer means that trust is fragile and competition is fierce. Each country must balance cooperation with self-preservation. When diplomacy fails or fear rises, war becomes a tempting solution. That's why many theories of peace focus not just on human nature, but on reforming the global system itself. Not all wars start with a declaration. Some begin with economic tensions, trade disputes, or races to develop superior weaponry. When nations react to each other's moves, escalation can become unavoidable. Each step, building a new missile, raising a tariff, feels defensive, yet pushes both sides closer to conflict. These pressures, especially in an age of fast technological change, make managing peace a delicate, continuous challenge. Still, there is hope. Even in the shadow of conflict, nations can choose dialogue over destruction. By building trust, improving communication, and finding mutual benefit, enemies can become partners. Cooperation doesn't erase differences, it manages them. Through alliances, trade, and diplomacy, we reduce the chances of war, one agreement at a time. History has seen moments of unexpected peace. After the Napoleonic Wars, Europe experienced nearly a century of relative calm, not by chance, but through a balance of power. No one state was allowed to grow too strong, and diplomacy kept ambitions in check. This system wasn't perfect, but it shows that equilibrium, if carefully maintained, can prevent war. It was a lesson in restraint, alliances, and understanding limits. In the modern age, even mathematics has joined the study of war. Game theory, used in diplomacy and economics, helps us model the strategies of states in conflict. It teaches that even in zero-sum situations, where one's gain is another's loss, rational choices can prevent catastrophe. Better still, cooperation can turn conflict into mutual benefit. If we understand the rules of the game, we may just avoid playing it altogether. That's all we have for today. Thank you and have a nice day.